back. I want to thank all of you that are watching. And for those of you that are watching later, I want to thank you for tuning in then. Happy New Year, welcome. And I'm Mare from Music with Mare. And this is our first magical musical moment of the year. Every Thursday at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we will have different people from the group that use music in some form with the children. We may occasionally have a yoga or exercise person on. And the purpose of this group is to show other people how to do and why to do these type activities. This is meant as a resource for you so that you can learn some new songs and activities. So what we're going to do right now is talk about bubbles. You know, there were a lot of bubbles going on New Year's Eve. You know, sometimes people blow bubbles, and they used to have the champagne bubbles. So if someone will let me know if I'm live, I would appreciate that. Let's see. Okay, so purpose of bubbles. You know, children absolutely love bubbles. They do. Why? We don't know. They're just magical. They blow around. But what is the purpose of bubbles? Well, bubbles can be used to help teach tracking. So if you blow bubbles for a baby and the baby is just sitting there, but they're not turning their head or following, then they're not tracking or seeing those bubbles yet. So it's a good thing to notice that, and then do some things where you can teach the baby to turn their head, move their eyes. Important when blowing bubbles, blow bubbles up, because if you blow bubbles down, you could get them right in their eyes, so you don't want to do that. So you blow bubbles, and you can also pinch the bubbles, try to catch the bubbles. This is working on trajectory, like prediction. By the time my finger gets there, will the bubble still be there? You know, so also strengthening the pincer grip. A lot of people say pincher, but it is not pincher, even though we are pinching. It is pincer, Pincer. Okay, so that is what separates us from other mammals and animals, because we have the opposable thumb and we can do this. All right, so I have a song about catching bubbles. I'm not going to play the whole thing, just a part of it so you could get the idea, and I may talk over it a little bit. So here we go. This is called Catching Bubbles. The one and the two. Catching bubbles, catching bubbles, catching bubbles in the air. Use my fingers, pointer and thumb. They follow the bubbles everywhere. I tried to catch one and they just pop. I keep trying, I don't stop. Determination, gotta get them. Or you can blow them away. See, to teach them to, when they get older, hey kids, can you do that, you know?
Look at those bubbles. I almost had one. Watch me blow this one back in the air. That's cool.
See, I'll catch one.
Look
at that.
I reach my arm up to catch just
Reach your arm up.
Reach up with
Switch to others.
What fun.
Right?
I follow the bubbles, turning around. I move my body with them as we go. Down to the ground.
Okay, so
Catching bubbles,
catching bubbles, catching bubbles
in the air.
Use my pincers, pointer and thumb.
They follow the bubbles everywhere. Look, there's one more over there.
Pop, pop, pop. Okay, so one of the things we were doing was using our embouchure to move the bubbles. And so that sometimes when we're using bubbles, we always just think about the blowing them or try to catch them. But you can do other things, and you can have them take the wand and try to catch the bubble back on the wand or blow the bubble up in the air. I tell the children, the older ones, try to stop the bubbles from hitting the ground. And it says one person's watching. I would love to know who you are because I cannot see if anyone is watching. And I would love to know if you were so that I know that this is working because, yeah, we've been having some problems with the posting the live videos and being sure that they are in fact going. So if someone could let me know, I'd appreciate that, because if it isn't working, then I will have to start all over again. So let's see. Okay, so another thing is like right now with the pandemic and our little third wave, and hopefully this is it, and according to history it probably is, but some of you still have to stay home, and some of you are still having to teach classes online. So if you have to do them online, what can you do to help children stay engaged with you? Okay, so what do you do to stay engaged? What you do is you have to stay more animated. So I teach a class 2 times a week for children that are using it more for musical therapy. They have some developmental delays, and these children are 0 to 3. So what we do is I let the parents know ahead of time what we're going to be doing. And I do start with bubbles. And I was wondering, how's this going to work on a screen? But what happens is I let the parents know ahead of time, and the parents blow the bubbles at home too. I get Mr. Froggy, and I have him come to the screen and try to catch the bubbles. And I let the children try to maybe poke at the screen or catch the ones that the parents are blowing themselves. So you can interact. And you also have to make it a little bit more exciting. Go out of your comfort zone a little bit. Because children this age really shouldn't be learning online anyway, because it's not really the best. But we could be teaching the parents, showing the parents how they can be doing things with the children. Okay, so I am wondering, because I do not know if anyone's on. I hope somebody is on, and I hope you would let me know if you are, because I can see that it says I'm live now, but I can't see that anyone is watching. So let's see what happens. Okay, so like when you're doing something like the wide mouth bullfrog, right? When I'm doing this and I'm saying the, hi, I'm a wide mouth bullfrog, right? So instead of just going like that, I'll say, what do you eat? Or what do you eat? So every time I move my face so it shows it a different way and it's not what they're expecting. Okay, so another song that's good for this time of year, or in most countries, it's cold out. It's winter time, and I know that we have the reverse seasons in different parts of the world, but where I'm at, it's winter. Well, I'm in Florida, so not winter as much as it is other places, but there's a song about snowmen. Now, whenever we use finger plays with children, it's really helpful because it activates the motor cortex, which is in your cerebellum. And the motor cortex is that part of the brain that helps you for higher level thinking. So when you're using finger plays and you're moving your fingers, you're also helping the brain to activate. And so the brain is thinking, what finger do I move for which word? And you're hearing the vocabulary. So you are really using all of your brain. see. Here we go. So this is called I Built a Snowman. And in American Sign Language, when you take your hands like this and go like this, that means cold, cold. And I use instrumentation that sounds cold, so that the music sounds cold or tries to project that feeling of cold. So, here we go. Let's see. I'm going to put a question up. And we will find out. Alrighty, so we're going to start out with just one snowman. Now in Florida, children don't know what snowmen are except for in books or if their families have taken them to see snow. So it's harder for them to understand. Now when I'm online, I want to go closer to the screen so they can see it and exaggerate and make it be silly and talk about how a snowman is white and round, has a nose and two eyes. And what's he wearing? A hat. I built a snowman, he was all alone, so I called up a friend on my phone.
On the telephone,
I built a snowman, how about you? If you build another, we can have two. Now there's two. Cold, brr, brr. My friend came over and said to me, I brought my brother. Now we have three. My sister, and she called
out,
I can build number 4. Now there's 4 snowmen. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right about then, my father, he began to build number 5. Here are 5 snowmen.
we built today.
Now when the sun comes out, what happens? The sun comes and they start to melt and they go away. Oh, I say, bye, snowman. Okay, so then they can learn a little bit about snow and the cold weather and all of that. Alrighty, so to end with, I want to show you one more thing. Elements of surprise are always good with kids too. And I'm sticking with cold weather songs, except for the bubbles. You show them something and you're working on deductive reasoning. So this is all STEAM, but you don't have to talk about that with the kids. You just do it, you know? Just have fun. So I show them this egg. I said, what do you think's in this egg? You no say? I don't know. But I'm going to show you some clues as the music plays. So that I have 4 different eggs. I used to have just one, but then whenever I took it out, they would start going, it's a chicken, because they knew it was a chicken. So I thought, what if it wasn't a chicken? So now I have 4 different eggs, so that now when they see me, they have to pay attention and listen to the clues in the song, because they don't know what might be in that egg. So here we go.
What's inside?
What's inside?
this egg?
I don't know.
One might never know.
Because inside,
For inside
different
an
animals grow.
different
I'll show you
animals
clues.
grow.
See, I see
Let's open up
2
this
orange
egg.
webbed feet,
It's sure to
a
make
beak,
you grin.
black wings.
Inside this egg is a baby.
It's a penguin! Look at
Look at
that!
that penguin. You know, penguins love
They
the
do,
cold
they love
weather.
cold weather! In the cold snow I play, I like it that way. And then you repeat. And you slide.
It's a slide, and it's a bumpy ride,
But I'm a penguin. My colors are black and white. I usually have someone yell out, "An orange!" It's absurd. New vocabulary word. Absurd means doesn't make sense. Now you can't fly, even though he's a bird. Yeah, you can't. In the cold snow I play. I like it. I'm a penguin. On the ice I slide.
And it's a bumpy ride.
But I'm a penguin. Now here I let the children get up and walk like penguins. When we sign penguin, we do this. And when you walk side to side, you're working on balance, right? So go from side to side. And then we get to the part about sliding, and we slide our feet. That's cross-lateral movement for breathing readiness. Right, so I'm going to end that song there, so you got the idea. All of these songs are available on Spotify, on Amazon, on musicwithmary.com, and a lot of them, most of them are on YouTube, so you can watch them. So please subscribe. I hope that this is showing, and if it's not, that I can save it and post it, and you can see it afterwards. Facebook has changed settings again, and we are working out those little glitches. So don't see anybody now. Hopefully I'll see you later and figure this whole thing out. But thank you. I hope that this had some good information for you. And if you have follow-up questions, happy to follow up on them. Join us this Sunday when we interview Prerna. And it's going to be a good interview. They always are. See you soon.